Hello everyone, as you all know, my name is Efan and my friend Yasemen. Now, the biggest and the last event that our Turkey movement is talking about the carbon emissions and talking about the impacts of it. And after that, there will be some design about that. I want to start with my words with the what's the carbon emissions and what does it affect our life. And by the way, this is the slide which I'm going to use now. So I sent it to all of you in the WhatsApp group, so you can also open your phone and follow the slide too. Now I'm going to talk about what is the carbon emissions. The carbon emissions for general is the all gases to emotions to all our atmosphere. For example, it's based on under the main title greenhouse gases. It's something, and the most important then is the carbon dioxide. It's based from our cars, our houses, our all the things you see around here. It's based from that, and it's all trapped into the world we're living into it. So time by time, it's going to increase immediately. So we have to stop that because otherwise it's going to be really bad for things. So for the second slide. Thank you. So in that point, I already talked about what the carbon emissions are. It's all based on the industry, and one of the most important side is it's heated to our environment. It's extremely heated. That's why we have climate change. That's why we have global warming about that, because it's directly affected our atmosphere and primarily from the common activities. And for the second part, I wanted to talk about the chemical base of the carbon. So, if you know a little chemistry, carbon is the sixth element of the periodic table. So we have carbon. So in the chemistry, we have some electrons, and we separate the electrons as 2 to 4. So which means that the last one is show how carbon connected the other elements. So in the carbon, you can see 4 points front of that. So all the connects the other elements. So carbon is one of the most connectable elements you can ever see in the periodic table. That's why it's just take everybody. It can complete with the oxygen, hydrogen, and the other elements here. It's not all of them bad, but the carbon dioxide is bad for the sometimes, not all times. I'm going to talk about that. So it's for the basically showing for the carbon, and for the carbon dioxide, it's just mixed with the oxygen. For the making carbon dioxide, you need 1 carbon and 1 oxygen. It's also called carbon monoxide, and the other period of it plus minus oxygen is going to be carbon dioxide, which you can see from your car, in the industry, in the houses, and it's all going to the atmosphere we live, and it's just trapped here. That's why in the atmosphere it makes some force in the atmosphere, and that force is making heat the world hotter. That's why we have climate change in the basically. And my friend Yasemen is going to her words. Third one.
So I'm going to talk about the sources of the carbon monoxide, and there are many carbon dioxide in our modern world, and the largest source is that industry and the transportation. As a transportation, we have buses, cars, and trucks that usually use diesel or gas and they're releasing carbon monoxide to the atmosphere, which can really increase the ozone gas as well. And another important source that is industry, factories, and power plants and production are based space to manage some energy and which can release a high amount of carbon monoxide as well. Even at home, carbon monoxide can be released from water heaters and stoves, and if they're not properly maintained, it can cause a big problem in our houses as well. And there's an environmental and health impacts in carbon monoxide as well. And for human health, the biggest danger of carbon monoxide is when you're breathing it. And when a person breathes a carbon monoxide, it binds to hemoglobin to hold the oxygen. And in that case, the human body is not getting enough oxygen, and as a result, the symptoms include like dizziness and headaches are happening. And for the environment, carbon monoxide plays a role in creating ground level ozone, which is harmful to the plants, humans, and animals. And also it introduced the air pollution, reducing the air quality, and in some way it also affects the climate change as well.
Yeah. And for my last words, actually I always talk about that, but it's not under a title. We all have a carbon footprint. So what's the carbon footprint? If you have made a little search before this organization, you can easily see, even you write the carbon in the Google, it's always say carbon footprint. So it's one of the most important titles you have ever seen about the carbon. Carbon footprint is total of all the things I just said before. For example, your car emissions some carbon, your industry emissions from carbon, and your houses even emissions from carbon, and even the body of the people, body of the animal emissions from carbon, because we take oxygen and we give carbon dioxide in the environment. That's why even us as a biological body, we have a carbon emissions. So how can we increase that? Before that, I'm not going to go with the slide, I guess, but I'm just going to change. Yeah, I'm not going to go with that. Okay, no. So in that case, I want to ask a little question, specifically for the German team and Spanish team, because in Turkey, unfortunately, most of us using private transportation for daily activities. So I want you to ask that, for example, the German team, how can you go to school in a normal day? By public transportation, by private car, by school service? For example, Mark? Bus. Bus. The other, the old bus? Yeah,
I walk.
You walk? That's the perfect one. For what about Spanish team?
Car.
Car, private or public? Private? Okay. That's the bad one actually, because if we all use private cars, it means more carbon dioxide. Because, for example, one bus taking 20%, so if 20% use a private car, it means 20 times more carbon emissions for the world. That's actually the easiest minimalized we can do for our environment and for the industry. Unfortunately, manufacturers don't want to do that because mostly it costs a little bit too much, and that's also another humanity fault in the world, because the manufacturer has to filter their gas, but they don't, for example, the economic reasons, specifically all around the world, specifically in the Middle East, you can see incredible emissions for the carbon and the other toxic gases. And for the households, actually that's the topic we are going to talk about it. For the households, everything you see is emotions with carbon. So what I want to say, even you prepare something for dinner, even you watch some television, we can change everything, we can fix everything, I know it, but at least we can make it increase about that. So for that point, we want you to think about how we can increase our carbon emissions for the worst scenario, how we can continue our life, how we can improve ourselves about that. So I'm going to, I already asked actually how we can increase that. So if you guys have any idea, that share about us. I guess no. Okay, let's continue about that. The basic point is actually it's not specifically for carbon. The people think about myself. Did I good person for the whole environment and all the world? It's even maybe about the recycle about that. Before that organization, we put 3 part of recycle pot in that corner, but unfortunately, all the 3 has an plastic glasses, but just for the one was about the plastic and paper glasses. So people should know that recycle. People should know that how we can improve ourselves about these topics, because everybody talking about that, even the Instagram, even the TikTok, even the news. People always talk about that, but they don't take any action. It's important to take any action. At least it can be even the more basic to even the more harder than, most harder than. So that's all I want to say in that conference.
As the good news, we have many solutions to fix this problem, and in the individual level, we can use, as he said, public transport and bicycles, or maybe going to walk for short places. And we can also choose, as I said, eco-friendly transportation. And we also can save energy by using efficient devices, and that could probably work because in the room in our house we always using the electrical in a really high level, and if you reduce that, it would be a really efficient thing to do when we are aware of this. And also in the future, cooperation between the countries will be the key. And since the air pollution is not stopping, we must work together and do something about this. And energy awareness campaigns and education also plays a huge role in this kind of stuff. And everybody, even in the young ages, should know about all this stuff. And this is actually a huge problem in our Earth, so everybody gets awake and solve this problem together. Yes.
Yeah. That's all we are going to say about that. So, do you guys have any? Oh.
And right now, I think we can actually, calculate one of our carbon footprint and see what is it.
That's much better. Is anyone want to be volunteering for that? Huh? But
I think
it's
the
better.
foreign people would be a better
First,
option.
we're gonna do like a little more than not just one person, right?
No.
It's not really the first.
Maybe
Probably.
2 or 3 person in every nations.
Yeah. Maybe one person for the every nations, and then we can calculate the differences. So I need Kaan can be in the Turkish nationality, and for the Spanish team, any volunteer?
And
Okay.
German team.
And the German team, Rahman.
Rahman, do you want to do that?
Okay, let's have a big clap for our volunteer. You guys can one by one. To be right there.
Yok ya, bence çok kısa uzun süren bir şey değil zaten.
Now we are going to calculate their carbon emissions and their carbon footprint, and based on the angle that calculate, we are going to talk about that.
Review about carbon footprint in your daily life. Okay, so we can start with Kaan.
Yeah, we're gonna start. So we have right here monthly electricity consumption.
Here, if you can, I can write it.
So my monthly electricity consumption is maybe. Now this is just the basis. I don't really know the exact number of my electricity consumption. So let's say, for example, 400 kilowatts, yeah. Per hour.
Do you know about this?
So we have monthly gas consumption by meter cubes. You know, let's say 50. Yes.
I don't think so. Okay, let's try another side. Can you pass me my phone? Is it charger?
Alright, let's start the calculation now.
Wait, we're gonna.
Guys, when we are doing that, do you guys have any question?
Okay, so I think we're starting now.
Alright, so I'm going to ask you the questions one by one. No. Okay, so it asks, would you please,
Do you eat
What are your-
sweets every day? Yes, every day?
Yes.
Okay, let's start.
Every meal. Every day, every meal, or once a week? Every day. Do you recycle everything yes? Okay.
Hocam elektrik faturası yaklaşık ne kadar olur?
Sorun, evden ödüyorlar.
Do you know your electricity bill? How much is it? 50 euros.
Euro?
50 ile çarpı.
No. Euros.
80 euros.
Euros.
Kaçta çarpı?
50 ile çarpı. What are your gas bill? What's your gas bill? Yeah.
Yes.
Go. 20,000. You guys use coal? Coal. Zero. Şömine mi? Do you use delivery services? No? Have you time do you flow through the plane? Two.
Sorulan İngilizcesi biraz yüksek şey yapıldı.
Yani
İlgiyi çekin bu tabi. Dağılmasın.
Yazdım bu dışarı.
çatıda kullanmadık.
Evet.
How often do you use public transportation? I just speak. Bus.
What? I don't.
Devam bundan sonra.
Because you can sit, we are going to ask randomly.
Ja, geht so, Bruder.
So who wants to meet most?
What?
Who wants to meet most?
Sen cevap ver.
For example, Ayaz.
Do you eat pizza every day?
Yes.
Once a week?
Once a week, okay.
One?
Timo, do you recycle? No? Okay.
So I'm going to ask you about that. My electric usage for the monthly, it costs me like 8,350 lira.
Every day?
How about the guests? Yeah. Yeah.
Bin yazmış. İnternet.
So, yeah, how many times you use the library service, for example, the cargos maybe,
Zero.
Delivery.
Zero.
like the library service? Every month? How many times? Every 2 months. 2 months at once. 2 months at once, right?
Aslında şöyle var yani paket kısmında post. Aynı Suriye'de Timo post. Ya bir film kısmında paket Pomona bir film
Ich weiß es nicht.
Bir kağıt.
hepsi 5 yere gelmiş. Hayır var mı? Konuşana sor.
Mikael, how many times do you use plane in
Over the country.
over the country? Yeah.
In Spain.
Zero.
Zero?
So, Philip, for the outside of the country.
What about the turning? Yan. How much, when in your daily time, do you use public transport and private car, or you just go
Yes.
by walk? Which one?
Bus.
Bus?
Yes.
I think we should ask one of the teachers about
Yeah.
this question. I think we should ask you guys about this one. Yes.
Güzel.
Okay.
Sorry about design.
So for the calculating, it's calculating.
It's a bit much.
So let's talk about it. Do you guys think that's too much or not that much?
It's per year, per day.
Per year.
Per year.
Any idea?
Bizim yüzümüzden yılda 3 metreküp uzun veriyoruz.
Yeah.
Hocam 3 değil 24 galiba.
Alt tarafında bir şey yapın. Alttaki 20 alıp
Bir soru için 100.000 çıktı. 2 soru yani.
Yani 24
bu şekilde yaşayan bir kişi yılda 3 metreküp buzul erimesine sebep oluyor.
So for the end, the site says we have to increase our resource like 50%. So based on normal, we use as a group 2 times more carbon for the normal standard. So we have to increase that. And result of that, it means 3 meter
Metro square.
not square, cube, yeah, 3 meter cube ice, it's,
Melted.
yeah. And also,
10 years of light bulb usage. And also means 8 tons of 4,000 kilometers by hour.
let's make our certificates. Yeah, these are certificates as a group. Thanks for your watching, guys. That was our presentation.